As we're in the month of Autism Awareness or Autism Acceptance Month, we as Autistics love to STEM a lot. And that means having to utilize our full body, either having to rub our hands together, listening to the same songs on repeat, or saying specific words or phrases that you like, and then having them all repeated inside of our heads. That is part of stimming, and I'm sure that there are many more stimming types beyond from what I have stated in the examples. So one of the stimming types that I usually like is having to rub my hands or doing something with my hands together, because I feel like a little nervous in conversations with friends, or maybe in group conversations, and so I like to stim a little bit. That way, I don't feel like I am being the only person in the conversation speaking, and not the other ones, because I know for sure like having to really talk a lot, it's just tiring. It feels like I'm pretty much burned out whenever I go on for hours and hours into a conversation, and then I pause my sentence, and then I just keep on going, you know? It's just what I do in my everyday life. Like, I'm not really the best communicator when it comes to having to complete full sentences. Like, I can pretty much say like either four or five words at a time before stopping, and then again that I can resume having to say another 4 or 5 words, or depending on which amount of words I can say in a conversation, or maybe even more. And now that I have gone through some speech therapy sessions in high school, now that I have begun to really accept my autism diagnosis, I feel a lot more confident in myself, having to communicate either online via video chat or in person in real life. Now, I'm always really nervous in real life conversations, and that's where my stimming practices come into place, with my hands doing something, either like pressing them together, doing like this, or maybe even if I am rocking myself back and forth into the conversation. While I sometimes usually rock in conversations like this, I don't know if I really do that in my past, but I've always stemmed myself with my hands, and maybe even having to sit in a way where it feels more comfortable for me to make out a conversation. So that is another part of stimming that I usually do in conversations. Now the other thing in stimming that I've mentioned about is having to hear repeated sounds, or making out a specific sound on repeat. So, for example, say that I like this specific song by Katy Perry, for example. Let's just say it like that. I like this specific song from Katy Perry, from Wide Awake. If you know that song, I like I like this specific bridge part down, and I'm sure sure everyone knows this trend on TikTok where you sing like a lot more a lot empathetically, uh, like you're singing at a high note from like the beginning, like straight up, and then it all like dials down a little bit. I am not a great singer. You know, like I have this normal speaking voice, and I don't know if I can really hit a lot of like high notes. It's just that I have to really tweak the what is it, the music's tone, or the music tone. I think music tone. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it's called. I am not even sure, but maybe alter the music sound. That way, I can actually sing at a much more greater tone than in normal tone. So yeah, I love having to repeat songs that I see on TikTok or whatever that may be, either on YouTube, or when I hear someone listening to another popular song that I usually like. So yeah, that's another part of stimming. And then the other thing is having to say words or phrases out loud. Something that I usually do when it comes to singing. Usually I repeat the words or phrases that are stuck in my mind. Maybe maybe the one word that I can't get out of my head is, what is it? What's the one word that I cannot get out of my head? Maybe like predicament. Maybe predicament might be something that is stuck in my mind, because while I was learning advanced vocabulary, I have this app where I learn advanced vocabulary, and I saw this specific word where like I can't get it out of the top of my mind. Or maybe it's like assiduous. Maybe it's assiduous, meaning that you are very smart and intelligent, I guess. Maybe I'm thinking this definition right. If I'm correct, let me know. But I think assiduous and predicament might be words that I tend to get stuck in my mind, that I'm always repeating it inside of my mind. So I always love these words so much in my advanced vocabulary, and hopefully I'll be able to learn a lot more advanced vocabulary, excuse me, than other adults out there, because now that I'm an adult, I need to learn a lot more advanced vocabulary, because I have been learning some either basic or medium vocabulary for a long time, and so I needed a vocabulary app. That way I can really remember these harder words, and maybe even incorporate it into conversations, maybe into like formal video calls. Maybe that's one thing that I can be able to do. So yeah, that's also another stimming part. I think some other notable stimming that I remember is having to pace myself back and forth, meaning that I walk backwards and forwards when I'm in the room or any part of the room, and I always have my device out, having to watch something, having to look at social media. And so anytime that I am really proud of like a project that I have done, or maybe even a school assignment, I get up and I pace myself back and forth, to really soothe myself, to really say that, hey, I did an excellent job. Maybe I should pace myself back and forth, to relieve in all the success, to relieve all the achievements that I did. So yeah, I usually do this a lot, and I'm pretty sure that I don't know if other autistics do this while I'm walking back and forth. That is actually a good way of stimming myself. Having to walk back and forth is really a good way to really get a little bit of exercise and a little bit of cardio in. So yeah, and it serves a lot of great benefits actually. You know, having to regulate our emotions, having to really feel comfortable in our skin, having to really soothe ourselves while having to stimulate, in terms of having to get away with overstimulation, or having to satisfy our sensory needs or something else like that. I think having to stim is really a good way to keep me going in my everyday life, especially when I'm navigating the world around me and having to interact with other people. And like I said, it's really not a weird thing. I think it's not really a weird thing to do to stimming. It's completely normal for me, and I don't know if other neurotypicals really do enjoy stimming, or maybe normal adults love stimming. But it is a good way. It is a good way to release stress. It's really a good way to do something with our hands. You know, like fidget toys. Yeah, they're probably a good way to relieve a lot of stress. While I don't really use fidget toys a lot, I do own one. I do own one fidget toy, and that is a fidget cube. And I barely even use it, but I should utilize my fidget cube a lot more, because it's a really fun toy. I actually bought the fidget cube like years ago, and I really enjoy having to play around with it. I love having to mash around the buttons of the dice, also having to feel like the joystick around the cube. That's actually a very good purchase. Not only is it a good purchase, but it's actually the best kind of purchase that I've ever purchased in my entire life. And I would actually buy a lot more fidget cubes if necessary. So yeah, and I've also heard that there's a trend right now on like Needles or glitter dumplings. or no, not glitter dumplings, but like regular dumplings. I think glitter dumplings are actually very rare in some packages, but like stress dumplings, you know, there's a certain trend around like these two kids toys. And while I do appreciate the two toys, I think it is pretty oversaturated right now, given that when one creator utilizes this toy, or pretty much showcases this toy to say how good it looks, or how it feels in your hand. I think other people have to like hop onto this trend, or maybe even go to the store in person and buy a whole lot of needles or dumplings, um, just to store it in their collection. And I'm like, whoa, like you need to slow your roll. Like you don't need like a lot more needles. You just only need one or two. And that is really like the problem. That's actually really the problem when it comes to people hoarding all the stuff that is made specifically for kids. And I cannot even like imagine like how badly they needed these stress toys. So yeah, I might give myself like a needle or dumpling because of this. I don't know which one suits me best when it comes to like stress toys, but hopefully hopefully when I come back to California in the next month, I'll for sure be able to buy myself a needle or dumpling, whichever suits me more. But yeah, like I said, stimming is really a stress reliever for autistics, and I hope that I can be able to utilize my stimming, a lot more of my stimming throughout my everyday daily life, and I hope you guys will also identify your stimming or whatever that may be. So yeah, that'll be it for this week's video. Hopefully you had a better understanding of what stimming looks like when I'm rubbing my hands or any type of stimming, and also listen to the great benefits when it comes to stimming. Now yes, it's getting a little bit darker right now, as you can tell from this video. So yeah, I might be able to end it here. I will end it here. So yeah, if you have any questions, if you have any insights about what I've said, if you want to add into the conversation that I've just talked about, I'd love it if you can share that in the comments. That would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you enjoy this commentary, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. Also, join my Discord community. Link is also down below to join my autism community. That would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to have more people into my Discord community. We are a chill server, and so I love it if you can join other like-minded autistics like myself. That way we can enrich ourselves into a more safer and a more like positive conversation for all. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I have to go and upload this. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.